The green funeral home tent billowed in the wind, and the white-trimmed scalloped edges flapped with sharp popping noises. The white cords anchoring the tent in place strained and fought the increasing breeze as the silver posts creaked in their anchors in the hard ground. I hate funerals, especially this kind of funeral, where the deceased was close and the loss weighed on everyone's shoulders. Everyone cried in unison, even me, though I was still numb from shock. The pallbearers approached, a row of dark, uniformed police, their heads bowed, carrying the dark oak casket with its brass handles. Oak was his favorite. That much I'd learned in the short time I'd known him, and he liked old black and white movies. I stood to the right of the tent, amid a group of his friends, or family, I didn't know which, and shook in the cold. I'd put on thick wool socks, a black pantsuit with a high mandarin collar, and my X-Files black trench coat. Rhonda, my best friend and cohort in all things metaphysical, stood beside me. She even looked like she belonged, with her flat black-dyed hair, black lipstick, and her kohl-rimmed eyes. She'd recently had her hair cut even with her jawline, a little longer in front. On Rhonda it looked good. My mother, Nona, was one of those sobbing women seated under the tent. Debbie Reynolds in fashionable black. She wasn't speaking to me this week. Fine by me. I couldn't talk back anyway. Not because I believed talking back to one's mother was bad. And it is, folks. Don't do it. But because I'm mute. I'd had a voice, deep and rough, sort of a cross between Stevie Nicks and Nick Nolte, but it was stolen by a symbiont, a parasitic creature of the abysmal plane. And when I thought of that moment, waking in a morgue to find myself with no voice and a toe tag, well, it was just one of those little alarm moments everyone has in life, kinda like when your best friend steals your boyfriend, and your best friend is a guy. I think I should clarify a few things. I'm a wraith, and evidently the only one of my kind. What this means for those not schooled in the worlds of the ethereal and abysmal is that I travel out of my body, at will, and become something else. Something more than a disembodied spirit or astral projection, which had been my life until a few months ago. Mental note: I need business cards. Wraith for hire. We get 'em, dead or alive. Being a wraith wasn't exactly what I dreamed of being as a child. I was more into the idea of being a pop star, adored by millions. Or even a Lara Croft type, kicking some serious butt. Hell, just having some idea of where my life was going would be a dream come true. Wraith. Not a resume blurb. I don't really know what a wraith is yet, or understand any of it. I'm still learning, and so is Rhonda, who knows a great deal more about this stuff than me. Traveling out of my body had been the first step into the darker, larger world, a nifty talent I discovered during a rape. Know that feeling of being in a bad situation and wishing you were anywhere else? Well, my wish came true that night in the park. And presto changeo, I was standing a few feet away, watching my body get violated. Not something to recover from quickly either. Sort of like puberty. The pallbearers moved under the tent and set the lieutenant's casket atop tight, flat green cords that would release later when the box was lowered into the ground. The priest stepped up. Father Maximilian Bishop. Father Bishop. Wasn't that cool? Well, I am a Catholic, though non-practicing. I thought it was cool. Stepped forward, his black robes billowing out into the January wind. I knew he had to be cold, and wondered only once whether or not he was wearing anything under his robes. Nuns didn't wear underwear, or so I'd been told. But did priests? Were they nude, flapping in the wind under all those robes? God, where was my mind these days? Friends, family, associates. His voice was strong when he spoke, and clear. not a single tremor or shake of his lips.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.